this money is too much for State House. That is my opinion.
But why? Every year, every quarter, Museveni needs new budget, more money for the State House. What's being done there in the State House? Is this a factory? What are they producing, bro? Every quarter, every month, every time and time, they need more money. We need more money. We need more money for the State House to do what? What's there? What are they doing there?
Actually, we are processing a budget that is program based. That one should remain a fact. The budget that we're processing is under program based. We all believe that we have other institutions of government, of which some of them we've just met them recently. Some of them we even met them yesterday. And actually, when you look at some of the activities that State House is intending to carry out, they are almost the same activities they are presenting. So, a case in point, I'll go straight to the issue of skilling. We all know that this program has been around for so many years, and we've been spending money for it, whether in Kampala or other parts of the country. But we have a concern as leaders. What intervention has government made to make sure that the people of Uganda who are helped in skilling are uplifted financially to make sure that they put in place what they studied?
You requested us to provide proposed budget allocation for financial year 25-26 and the justification that for those proposed allocations, as well as the key vote priorities for 25-26 with respective budget allocations, clearly indicating the desired amount and that which was provided under the ceiling. We have given a brief overview of our allocation in the components highlighted in the table that follows. Wage, this financial year we have an allocation of 31.4 billion shillings. However, for next financial year we've had an increment and it has gone to 36.114 billion. This has arisen out of the new creations of units and appointments by either president that necessitated an increase of 4.626 billion shillings. Under non-wage, we have a total allocation of 399.058 billion this financial year. This has risen to 443.113 billion shillings. And the reason for this increase is out of three components, one of them being gratuity. The new recruitments led to the need for more gratuity. And so this allocation was increased by 1.491 billion. However, this is despite the fact that we needed an extra 4.798 on this particular item of gratuity. This leaves a funding gap under gratuity of 3.307 billion. So despite the increase, we still have a funding gap on gratuity. Under pension, we received an increment of 39 million shillings to cater for planned retirements. Under presidential initiative.
Why retirements, gratuities are done in the State House? Why is the world body government nga iri concerned on that? Nga buli abakozi bakola mu State House manyi abakozi wa government. Why board are taken as a separate entity nti bo baba wa gratuity waabwe baba wa retirement si waabwe alina kuita mu State House? Lwaki talwa ekitongole kiramba nga kikola ku ebyo ng'oli oba akolerawo oba wa ali suppose ali entitled to gratuity retirement benefits nga zina ekitongole mwe ziyitira nga tekimwetaagisa kugenda eri bamanya nti gundi ono yali tayalinze sente ze ne zigendayo ku account ye. Lwaki zina kuyita mu State House? Okitegedde kuba ekitongole kyo kiba kimanyi muwendo ky'ogw'abakozi oguli mu State House omutuufu era abantu ky'abatuufu abagenda okuwummula. Ne gwe sono ziteeke mu State House omanya n'agenda okuwummula. Omanyi kituufu gye bale bagenda okuwummula. Bagayi bano batubba bannange omusimbi.
Initiatives we have two components that got an increment. One was the transfer of operations of the National Secretariat for Patriotism Clubs from Office of the President to State House. This was a directive, and it came with 4.5 billion shillings to cater for the activities of the National Secretariat for Patriotism Clubs. Additionally, State House received a directive.
Now, what's the purpose of patriotism clubs? Somebody tell me. Patriotism club is called mu State House. Bantu bange mmwe. Togamba gwe, okwagala eggwanga lyo, okwagala ensi yo, balina kusomese. What's in you, deep in your heart? Kambuza olwo gwasomesa okwagala mama oba taata we. Nga gwakusomesa nti taata we bamwagala bwe bati ne mama wo, oba jjajjaawo, oba ekikaacho, oba abantu bagala baganda bagala walogo basomesa oba it's just natural kintu kijjawuzi n'olyanga feeling zizze omuntu omwagala olw'ebikolwa byakola towards zigwe osegede ne Uganda bwekito bwe kiri tolenza tukaka atusomesa kujagala mu patriotism clubs for what? Toina asomesa tubati kuna kusomesa tufe twagale Uganda yaffe kubanga kirimo ffe tuli baana ba wano automatic tulina okwagala ensi yaffe atenze kambawulire kino makyu twali muntu atayagala Uganda ng'azaalibwa wano taliyo fena Uganda yaffe tujaga naye bantu abakulembeze be tutaagala kati bo by mistaking obutaagala bakulembeze batwala ku butaagala Uganda togamba omukulembeze ye Uganda simba sagala General Museveni tekiteza nta Uganda sijagala njagala Uganda ngache mbandwana General Museveni avewo mfuna omukulembeze anazimba Uganda yange nebere ensama tilibona nga sente zibbibwa bubbibwa mu patriotism clubs ne mutwala sente zona billions of money but mukama
to provide resources for the establishment of the state-of-the-art common user facility, and the resource for this directive is 38 billion shillings. Under development, we moved from 21.7 to 27.7, and this additional 6 billion is to cater for the procurement of vehicles. This was a need that was highlighted at the budget framework paper, and thanks to your efforts, Honorable Chair, we got that extra 6 billion to cater for the procurement of vehicles. Then you asked us to provide key priority areas indicating the desired amount and the provision in the ceiling. The key priority areas handled under State House are highlighted in that table that follows, and one of them is the poverty reduction, peace and development. The President is engaged in these activities of poverty reduction, peace and development. The allocation to this priority is 82.753 billion shillings. And this service area delivers on both the President and Vice President's interventions relating to mobilizing of masses, leaders, rallying them towards, and various leaders rallying them towards peace, poverty reduction, and socio-economic transformation. It involves meeting with delegations of local leaders as well as sensitization meetings with the wananchi. The greatest...
Let me ask myself. Okuchusa economy ya Uganda. People to engage in production. Chetagisa chi. Kuba sensitizing. So njala tutegere bulungi. Chetagisa kubasomesa. Oba kyetaagisa kuteekawo nteekateeka ebasobozesa okukola okwejja mu bwavu. Muganda wange ne bw'onoonsomesa engeri y'okwejja mu bwavu naye ng'enteekateeka eriwo tensobozesa kwejja mu bwavu omala biseera meaning sente zaffe z'omusolo mubba za bwereere. Teekawo policies enkola enteekateeka nga bwe ntandika akaduuka kange ku kyalo kajja kukula naye olwali otandika akaduuka ne bakujjako emisolo nga 10 ne bakujjako buli kimu amasannyalaze tegabeerako amazzi tewali kakati how will my business grow nga enteekateeka eriwo tensobozesa business yange kukula ng'oluguudo lwentundyako lwonna lujjudde enfuufu oba oyita wakagula oba oti enfuufu nekuba neyingira akaduuka byonna ebintu nebifaanana ejjegere. How will my business grow nga enteekateeka eziriwo nfu tezifevalinga business yange kukula nga bazijjako omusolo guno ne bajjako guno ne bazijjako kuli ogenda okumaliza nga agandi badde amagoba okwongera mu business yange gonna gasaanyeewo nga nina kugiggalawo nzire mu kyalo oba ngende Bulaya nkuba ekyeyo. Bannayuganda bangi business zaabwe zifudde badduse Uganda bagenze lwa poliisi zagawoza wano enfu neyagamba okukula okuteeka bana Uganda ni production ne balima binene ne balunda binene ne bayiga okukyusa amata ne bagajjamu cheese ne bagajjamu butter ne bayiga okukyusa ennyama ne bagisabika bulungi nti kyetaagisa kubasomesa banange erimu tuleme kwerimba buli muntu ku nsi kuno amanyi kyagala okuva mu bwavu tewali gwe basomesa kwejja mu bwavu kiba muggwe ebintu tubijja waka nga bakuyigiza nno munnange okukola eddembe ly'omunaku kwekolera ng'okimanyi tewakyetaagisa muntu mulala kusomesa kuva mu bwavu okimanyi nawe tagala mbeera mbi teekawo embeera ng'ensobozesa by'enkolo bifunamu okitegedde abaana bangi bakola emirimu nga beetaaga amasannyalaze beetaaga intaneti teriiwo oba eri expensive gifuule cheap n'amasannyalaze tegaddamu kuvaako okitegedde wabeerewo alternative amasannyalaze bwe geekangamu bwe gati waliwo standby generator ezaako ekitundu ekyo tibegeekangamu ati ng'egentange takinga on ng'abantu basigala baaka abasobola okukola emirimu gyabwe bagikozesa amasannyalaze basigale nga bakola baleme kufiirwa lunaku olwo okitegedde nga intaneti weeri wifi weeri abaana bakola okitegedde nga omulimi alina enguudo kwagenda okuyisa ebirime bye kijjamu amaanyi okulima kisementaasa kumusomesa kulima nga ajja kulima naba kino omusomesezza okulima n'agenda mu nnimiro n'alima oba matooke oba bijanjalo oba kasooli oba biki amazima agenda okumaliriza okukungula nga eyali asubirwa ebintu by'okujja okugulibwa singi 10 oba okusingi 2 oba 15 oba mu mutwalo nga bagenda muwa singi 10 oba 2 mu kiro y'akasooli oba kiro y'ebijanjalo oba ettooke lye naye nga lwaki bamuwa ezo ssente lwa nguudo mbi abajja okusubula bamaze amafuta bookeza amafuta mangi mu nguudo embi ngimoyoka big bag amafuta mangi ne bagookya kati abala bwe natuuka e Kampala ngenda kutunda bbeeyi n'amanya kati bwe ngulu bwe mugula ono ddondolo ne nzijjako amafuta n'okkanika emmotoka yange okitegedde mba ngenda kufissaawo kanana nga baana bange basome ng'adondola omulimi kati gwe mbuli omulimi anaddamu ddi okufuna mulaalo eddamu okulima nga bamudondodde sizoni ewedde oba okitegedde just ffe gavumenti yaffe yenfu yemboofu naye neyagala okuteekawo muno yerwanirira ennyo buli kimu neyeteekako ogwo omulimu muffe tulina okusomesa abantu buli kimu musomesa ki banange byetukola tubimanyi twagala ffe okwejja mu bwavu ne mutereeze embeera gye tukoleramu ebintu tujja kukola nammwe mwewuunye ne bano babbi bubbi balema essente ezo zemuteekeyo musimamu kutusomesa awareness batusomese engeri y'okukolamu babuladi muzikolemu enguudo babuladi muzikolemu amalwayo wabeereyo eddagala mayite bwe naalima ekintu n'ekinsimba njagenda mu ddwaliro banzijanjabe nkomewo ku nkumbi yange okitegedde naye enguudo nfu amalwaliro mafu buli kimu kifu tolina amasannyalaze bulera mu nzikiza buli kadde then when will you bro onoolowooza otya n'oyiya nobaako kyokola neŋŋamba nti kati omanyi nimya amatooke gange gano sigenda kugakkiriza kugenda Kampala nga galiko ebikuta n'ebigogo kalinze tukole wano twekuŋŋanye ng'ekyalo kyawana balima amatooke amangi tukole kafakitole kaffe tufune abakyala nga bajja ne bagawaata tufune obuveera bwaffe oba ebipapula byaffe ebirungi tugasabikenga okitegedde tugateeke mu freezer emmotoka zijje nga zitwalanga gawedde tupaakingenga gagende e Kampala mu supermarket mu butale nga batunda matooke mawaate obubungu tunaafuna nga tulina amasannyalaze olunakitandika n'ogawaata amazima agannyabo olunagateeka mu freezer nga mukifunye ekirowoozo amasannyalaze gagende ennaku ezo ennaku 3 matoke gavunde kati ggwanga ki okitegedde naye nga bakusomesa nnyo mwe temwagala kukola bannange mukole nnyo naye nga nabo tebasobola providing what they must provide for us sente bazitwala mu State House kuzira buli bokwediiba ongola tulabye.
Cost drivers are travel inland costs, maintenance of vehicles, as well as farming up their already existing model village initiative across the country. The other priority area is the promotion of regional integration and international relations. We have allocated a 9.146 billion to this priority area, and this is where the President and Vice President continue the promotion of regional and international relations, fostering bilateral and multilateral relations for regional peace and development. Service area involves travels abroad by the principals to attend regional and international meetings, as well as hosting various heads of state and foreign dignitaries. The other key priority area is the promotion of trade, tourism, and investment, and we have allocated 1.5 billion. Here we handle the fact that the president is at the forefront of promoting trade, tourism, and investment. This area ensures that the principals are engaged in key trade-related activities that include but are not limited to engaging in regional international trade meetings, mobilizing both local and foreign investors, as well as commissioning new investments. The other priority area that State House handles is supporting the president to reach out to the community. And in various ways, this allocation is 83.08 billion. In various ways, both the president and vice president reach out to local communities. They have a prerogative to reach out to individuals and communities in need through donations that include payment of school fees for State House sponsored students, provision of vehicles for religious leaders, and other welfare needs, could be even medical, of the people. The other priority area is the implementation of any presidential initiative that is set up in State House. The allocation is 103 billion shillings. The president, using his own prerogative, initiates a number of strategic interventions aimed at either improving service delivery, that is where we see initiatives like the anti-corruption unit, the health monitoring unit, and infrastructure monitoring unit, or quality of life, as well as the skilling and wealth creation initiatives. For example, the skilling program in Kampala and the hubs around the country. The last three components are cross-cutting. They are still priority, really, because without them, the above cannot go on. Management and administrative services. Management and administrative services, we have an allocation of 163.514 billion. And this priority handles the day-to-day implementation of policies and procedures, planning and direction of resources that are both human and financial in order to deliver the mandate of the vote. Then wage, which is 36.114 billion shillings, payment of staff salaries. And lastly, the capital development, which I've already mentioned earlier, which is 27.722. It handles the acquisition of assets as well as their management. That is procurement of vehicles, procurement of various equipment, procurement of furniture, maintenance of all the infrastructure that we have, including Entebbe State House and Nakasero State Lodge. You requested us to provide key performance indicators, clearly indicating baselines and intermediate targets for 25-26. Still, I'll follow the priority areas and provide the indicators across those priority areas and the baseline. This baseline, actually, you'll excuse me, it's 23-24. It's 23-24, not because 24-25 is not yet done. So under poverty reduction, peace and development, as I already mentioned here, the key performance indicators will look at the number of districts mobilized by both the president and vice president. This is a new indicator, so we don't have baseline data for it in that regard, though the president has been going around all the districts. Our target for both of them is 120 districts. The other one is to meet delegations of local leaders, number of delegations of local leaders met. The president and vice president target to meet 100 of those. Under regional integration and international relations, our indicator is number of regional and international peace and security engagements participated in, and we shall target 19. You will see that the baseline is 61. The baseline is 61 because in that particular year we had NAM. So NAM drove that number up, but the target is to have 19 engagements of that caliber. You also, as I come to the end, requested us to indicate how the planned activities fit into the vote's mandate and consistency with the NDP4. And in alignment, we highlight the fact that the NDP4's goal is to achieve higher household incomes, full monetization of the economy, and employment for sustainable socio-economic transformation. And as State House, we are mandated to provide at all times support to the presidency who in turn offers overall leadership of the state and ensures that all the national goals are achieved. So our support is to achieve that NDP4 goal. This pursuit is in tandem with Objective 5 of the NDP4, which is to strengthen good governance, security, and the rule of the state in development. Now, this particular Objective 5 is implemented through the Program of Governance and Security, under which State House falls. And this alignment is further exemplified through the program objectives and interventions as detailed below. So the program has objectives, the program has interventions, and now State House seeks how to plug in so that we are in alignment with NDP4. So the first program objective that we aligned to is to strengthen public policy management, legal and institutional frameworks for socio-economic transformation. Now this is at program level. In there is an intervention that reads enhanced administration of program services of the presidency for socio-economic transformation. Now, what will State House do in order to align itself to these two? State House will facilitate the presidency programs, all of them, through the provision of logistical and technical support, welfare and security, so that they are efficiently and effectively implemented. This touches the issues of mobilization of investors, promotion of trade, mobilizing leaders across the country, engaging in community-related functions, as well as implementation of presidential initiatives. Now, the second program objective that we are aligned to touches strengthening accountability, transparency, and money laundering systems for effective governance. Again, this is at program level, and there are two interventions that we are aligned to. The first one relates to prevention and detection of corruption and enforcement of anti-corruption measures. This is where the anti-corruption unit in State House comes in to investigate corrupt-related cases and forward them to the DPP for onward management or prosecution. The other bit under the other intervention under this particular objective is strengthening monitoring of government programs for effective service delivery. And this is where we have the inspection carried out by the Health Monitoring Unit, the inspection of health facilities across the country, as well as the inspection of ongoing infrastructure works across the country and taking the appropriate action.
Sponsorship of students. Karamoja happens to be one of the areas which was given affirmative action in terms of education in order to help Karamoja come to the level of other regions in the country. However, the challenge here is, which I want to really ask the State House controller. That is the problem. The students from Karamoja are really suffering. They are tossed left and right by the management of institutions because of delayed payment of fees for those who happen to be given the opportunity. What is the problem, madam? As we talk now, the students are embarrassed. They are demoralized, despite of the letters by the president to clear them. What is the problem? Is it your office or where? Who is sitting on this making the Karamoja children suffer? Who is this person the president has heart for the Karamojons? Who is this? And then finally, the issue of welfare. Is somebody who is in charge of welfare matters. Welfare, you know it is really catering for these people to live well. What's wrong with you, sir? Really, what is the problem? Finally, on the anti-corruption, the money for road rehabilitation is being consumed at district levels, left and right. As we talk now, all districts are in total confusion because the money is not used well. Anti-corruption, where are you? Mm-hmm. Where are you to check these trips here? Mm-hmm. There are very many. Every district is complaining of the engineer, the CFO. They are really clear. Just that the money of government is being eaten. What are you doing?
Yes.
Then finally, the issue of health monitoring. This country needs ambulances to be able to support the referrals. But up to now, even hard to reach areas like my constituency. By the way, I'm a member of parliament for the people living on mountains and at the slopes. But you are not giving me the ambulance. Are you serious?
They are not serious.
These areas are accessible. And it is hard to reach area. It is in the law. But you people, in terms of your priorities, which one do you consider? The ones in hard to reach areas or the ones which are accessible? Again, this is the issue of priorities. Chair, I want to submit.
Yes, beba abantu baffe abakulembeze baffe bo eva bagala sente, new money, more money, more money, more money, more money for state house allocation. Eso na sendinga. Tewali kyezikola baliireyo ndiire. Osegedde. Waliwo anti-corruption unit mu state house naye ekola ki? Obuli bw'enguzi nga bungi. Abantu nga bali mu parliament balya musimbi begabira musimbi tewali gwe bakwata kati bakwatani. Just kubera okulya buli nsimbi nga tewali kye bakola. Sente y'omusolo erabye. Tuteeke embe bannayuganda we are dying.